What's up, Bears fans? Your boy Coach C with Chicago Bears 360 back with another live show for you today. What's the day? August 4th or so. You know what I'm saying? We getting into it, man. Preseason game one out of the way. Preseason, the Hall of Fame game just happened this week. We're gonna go over the good, the bad, the ugly of the preseason Hall of Fame game. A lot going on, man. I have the team joining us slowly but surely. We're going to tap into it, man. Y'all know how we do it at Chicago Bears 360. I got to bring this back, man. Y'all know it's one standard. We will be
perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts. And then you will run a mile. Perfection. Let's go to.
So y'all know what's next, man. We're going to cue the intro. Maestro, let's go.
Life like chess move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. The Lord done put me through some tests so I can learn my lesson. They take advantage when you cool, I can't control aggression. We go back and forth talking, so who we really blaming? Tell me to change, I'm not myself, and then you start complaining. Can't understand your situation if you had a main. But you cost me for some shots, we barely knew it.
And just like that, we're back. Bears fans, your boy Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. We got AJ in the building. AJ on brand this morning. I love that hoodie. That thing go hard. That's crazy.
Know. It's one of my favorite hoodies. It's so warm.
And who you got in the background right there? You rocking in the background.
Jack Sanborn.
Jack Sanborn. Let me get my lighting straight here. This is what, man, so much happening before the show.
So on Monday I had Caleb Williams, so I feel like I got to switch it up every time. So
gotta switch.
Today is Jack Sanborn. maybe
what's
tomorrow I pull out like Tory Taylor or something. We'll see.
And she gonna keep switching it up throughout the season. We got Jay Tarberry and him letting him get his video online here real fast. We're gonna jump straight into it. This week the Bears were at the Hall of Fame game versus the Houston Texans. Of course,
we won. That's all that matters.
You said week one?
I said we won.
Oh, we won. We won. Absolutely. And we actually I actually started this morning getting down and breaking down the film. And the very first thing that I'm doing this week and on Tuesday, and I have an announcement for everybody, I'm actually moving the Tuesday and Thursday show to the mornings because I'm back on the sidelines, AJ. I found a gig.
Look at you.
I found a gig. Yeah, back on. This is something I've been trying to do for the last 3 years. I found a gig.
That's what's up.
Great opportunity. Albeit, you know what I'm saying? It's a step. It's a step.
Right.
It's a step in the right direction. Put it this way, I had to take something that, you know, it's a step before the step. Ultimate goal. Right. I got a long-term plan. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying, the joy of being back on the sidelines is amazing. So I'm just kind of in a consulting role right now. I got to learn coach's offense, of course, because I'm behind and then all this other stuff. But I'm excited to be back. So I'm shifting some things around so I can still do the program. So I'm going to do Tuesday and Thursday mornings until I know what's what and what my schedule is going to be real like. But I'm excited. I appreciate all the congratulations in the chat.
Right. That's awesome.
Y'all know how passionate I am about getting back, man. So just helping coach out, you know what I'm saying, install some things, you know what I'm saying, plug in some holes in terms of his offense and get things back online. But back to the Hall of Fame game, Chicago Bears. So my first time getting a chance to watch the film or start to watch the film was this morning. So on Tuesday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down, and we're going to start. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. We're going to start with Shane Waldron and looking at what Shane is trying to accomplish, because this is the foundation for everything we judge throughout the season moving forward. We can't be talking about Caleb Williams is terrible, the running backs are terrible, O-line's terrible, without understanding what he's trying to accomplish. Ironically enough, what I'm doing on the sidelines is exactly the same thing. I'm trying to see what coach is trying to get done. What are your goals? What is your philosophy? What is your offensive philosophy? What are your run concepts that you've already installed? You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to do offensively in terms of passing game? You want to go quick game? You want to go vertical, horizontal? What are you trying to do? What are who's who? What is your player personnel? Who's a dog? Who's not? Where's our holes? How do we fill those holes with plays and concepts that cover the weaknesses of our franchise? So I'm going to be looking at that, in terms of how Shane is approaching being an offensive coordinator, because I told y'all that's what I'm doing. I'm back in my bag and I'm loving it. Most nights I can't even sleep because I'm like, man, did coach install this? I'm telling y'all, I'm so happy right now. I'm in a happy place. So I had to put that out because I just realized I'm doing what I love doing. Anyway, what was your opinion of Hall of Fame game one? First look at the 2024 Chicago Bears.
There wasn't much to look at. I mean, the starters didn't play, so I was I mostly paid attention to the offensive line because that's what I like to look at. That's what I like to stare at. I thought it was interesting that they put whatever that dude's name is, Javian or something, whatever that dude's name is. They put him at center first before they put Doug Kramer. I thought that was interesting. I mean, I was not surprised, but kind of surprised that we didn't see either Coleman Shelton or Ryan Bates, considering one of them will be the backup center. But I mean, I guess. And then, Collie Johnson, that's just a big dude. Like, I don't know how you defend that. Like, he's 6'6", like 230 pounds. Like, he can pretty much catch any ball you throw at him. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I feel like he needs to be in the game more. Like, you don't have an answer for that. Like,
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Like, I feel like he needs to be involved more. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I got a few calls. Of course, it's funny because I got a call from my dad, and we're gonna get into the players that we thought shined and all the other stuff. He was excited about the quarterback. He was like, "Who's that quarterback?" He was moving the ball down the field and lighting it up. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, ripping, right? You know what I'm saying? I was explaining to him, I was like, all right, Dad, listen, don't get carried away. First of all, this is a journeyman quarterback. Yes, he played well, but also understand that I think there was a gentleman's agreement between the head coaches that, hey, we play each other in a few weeks. We're not finna go out here and beat our starters up against each other in a preseason game. So don't get too carried away. It's at best 2s and 3s versus 2s and 3s. It's not.
That's all preseason is. It's plus it's very vanilla. They try to go out there to not get people killed.
There you go. That's the other point. So
they go out there to just get their feet wet. That's why the starters usually, if they usually play like a series or two, and then they don't even play after that. Like, it's really just to get their feet wet.
Hey, good morning, gang.
Get used to contact, but then after that, they're out. They're not out there to hurt people or get somebody hurt.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, fresh for week one.
Welcome in, Jay, to the show. What up, man?
Hey guys, sorry, a little bit tardy. Technology took a crap on me this morning.
You're always
tardy. So it's all good. I like that socks hat though.
Yeah.
You're always tardy.
I want to piggyback on what you were saying, Elise, and how Jay jumped straight into it. So you're making a great point. Scheme wise, first of all, it's 2s and 3s. Scheme wise, it's very vanilla. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see, and I'm still not all the way through the film, but I'm not seeing a lot of blitz packages and all that other stuff, and having to adjust protections, the blitz schemes, and all that other stuff. But what fans can be excited about, and what they should be excited about, and this is what you should be judging Thursday night's game off of. Do we get the play in clean, right? Play operations, game time operations. So getting through your game operations, we get the play in clean, we break the huddle clean, we get the line of scrimmage, and the playoff without a bunch of delay of games, a bunch of jumping off sides and all that stuff. And I didn't see that. That's what I was strictly going to grade that game off of, regardless of who played anyway. And if you guys saw, and y'all let me know in the chat, if I saw, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of, sloppy game and play operations. I thought it was smooth. I watched the first scripted plays, the first 15 plays, and everything went off smooth. I think there was a 4th and 1 where something happened. Might have been.
There was like one. I think it was one false start.
I
believe. but it was like I think it was in like the second quarter, third
Right.
quarter, maybe before they canceled the game. It was not even that bad. Like it was like I think it was I forget who it was, but I think there was like one like false start.
What did you observe, Jay? You didn't see anything that stuck out to you in terms
Nah.
of game operations?
Like I got to give a shout out to I'm bearing down on Twitter, because usually I just watch the game, once, the condensed version on YouTube again, and then that's it. But
Cheater.
now you can isolate individual guys. So to your point, Coach T, it was a squeaky clean game. It looked like everybody did their homework up front, but there was a couple of guys that stuck out, like Jatari Carter, where there was some plays to where you seen him, like he wasn't out of position. He was getting off the line, pull it around, getting to the second level. So I want to give a shout out to bearing down, because most casual fans like that, you could take and say, oh, this guy executed it to play. So, I mean, yeah, it was vanilla, but at the same time, you've seen guys do their job at the
That
very
and that's
least.
the most important thing. Making sure, again, play operations, making sure the play gets in clean, call gets clean, play gets off clean, and then are we just the fundamentals? Are we firing off the ball? Are we doing a alignment assignment? Key and techniques, right? Right, from an offensive standpoint, offensive line standpoint, are they really running their assignments? And that's what I was looking at as well. And then to your point, to back up what you say, Jay, big shout out to I'm bearing down, because he breaks down and he has the film clips of the individual players. And I actually reached out to him last season. I leverage his film breakdowns or his clips a lot to do the individual player breakdown. But as I started today's start looking at individual players, I said, hold on a second. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me take a step back and look at what Shane is trying to do. And so many of you might have caught the tweet I sent out. I said, and I told you guys about my conversation with Kerry Joseph at the Senior Bowl and what Shane likes to run. And the very thing, so what I did was with Kerry, I said, hold on a second, before you tell me, this is what I see on film, and you can adjust me from there. So the very first adjustment he made, I said, hey, he likes to run inside, outside zone. And the very first correction he made when we were having a conversation, he was like, he's more of a mid-zone run scheme guy. So the very first play we run, what do we run? In Thursday game, we run mid-zone successfully with Roshan Johnson. The other thing that I was saying was Shane likes his big backs. I'm saying Shane likes big backs. So Swift might be the guy, but I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised.
That's what
I already saw in the comments somebody talking about Khalil. Listen, I understand.
RB3.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it because I already saw the comment. We'll get a chance to debate about that in a little bit. But what I want to get to, and I want y'all to tune in to Tuesday's show if you can make it. Tuesday morning, I haven't decided time yet. I'm trying to get that little sweet spot between Eastern Standard Time and Central Standard Time where people can tune in. I'm gonna break down the. That's too late for me. That's too late for me.
Then 10.
We'll figure it out. I'm gonna have to figure it out and post it because I got stuff I gotta get during the day. The other thing is I'm gonna probably be in the building with the kids. So that's the other exciting part about this. I'm getting a real job, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I got a real job, but it's you know what I'm saying? It's to be explained later on. But either way, here's the thing. I'm going to break down the film in Shane and break down what he's actually doing. So I'll give you an example. I'm already going through. Here's the first few series of plays for Shane, right? And I'll give y'all a teaser. Bears fans should be excited because we got a real one up there with the headset. We got a real one in the booth. I don't know if he's going to be on the field or up in the booth, but Shane is a real one. Here's an example of me charting what he did first two drives, right? Mid zone, toss, boot, play action off the mid zone. And I'm going to pause right there and say, why is that important? Because I spoke so much last season, over the last two seasons, about Luke Getsy not setting things up, about telling a good story with your play calling. And this is something, the conversation I've been having all week with my fellow coaches on the offensive side of the ball, that assistants that's working with me. It's not, you got play callers and you got offensive coordinators. Play callers just call plays. Coordinators tell you a good story with their play calling. So you go mid zone, toss, boot, play action, screen off of the mid zone. So I showed you the mid zone, but I came back with a play action screen off the mid zone. That means I set that play up. Something that I wrote down, I can't read my note, is Q6H. What's that? Hitch or something. We went to the jet screen off the weak zone. So we actually ran zone. We went to a jet sweep off of the weak zone. We ran duo. We ran mid zone again. We came back with an ISO with a fullback in the game. We came back with a fake something X outside zone. I'm not reading my own notes good. Came back with mid zone play action. So now we've run the mid zone. Now we're running play action off the mid zone. So this is telling you, Kerry said that. How many times have I already called out mid zone in this whole thing? And he's running play action off the mid zone, outside zone. He ran delay draw, weak side zone toss or inside toss. And then he ran some 3-step quick game stuff. Already, I'm telling you, just off of look and feel and the thousands and thousands of hours I've spent watching game film, this is already in a preseason game, very vanilla with no defensive blitzing packages and all this other stuff. It's already 4X what Luke Getsy was doing. I'm telling you from experience. If you don't have to believe me, I'm telling you. I was excited just watching. I'm like, okay, dude, this we might have something here. If we can get,
I'll just say that's not a high bar.
I know it's not a high bar, but
the bar last year was like this.
Listen, I know it's not a high bar, but the bar was definitely low. Go ahead, Jay.
I just want to say this, like, we can, just scoff at what Rippey and Colin Johnson did during the game, but take a deeper look. And to your point, Coach T, he's trying to use the middle of the field. Look at how open he was on situations to where the run set that up. Like, you was just leaking your tight end or your big wide receiver right up behind him. And I talked about Ja'Tari Carter. One of those plays, he pulled around and got to the second level in a play action situation. And on the top side of the screen, Ripien had not just a rushing lane, but a quarterback's window into where the ball was going to be. Like, it was wide open. It was probably 15 feet between the two linemen, the tackle and the guard. That was beautiful to see, because when you slow it down, you can understand that there's an easy window of opportunity for completions just because the field is open visually to the quarterback instead of having a lot of debris and traffic in a throwing lane.
Yeah, it's listen, I'm telling you, if I'm getting excited, you should be excited, because you know what I'm saying?
When the real games are played.
Play callers watch play callers. You know what I'm saying? You like to steal things. And one of the things that got me into Bears DIY media was during the Nagy era, I was like, okay, let me since I'm not coaching, let me watch the Bears. Let me see what I can steal. So the Bears are my team. I want to watch them anyway, but let me watch it at a closer level and see what I can steal to add to my scheme. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna still study the game. This keeps me connected to the game. And there was nothing. There was very little. I'll say the first season there was a little bit of stuff there. But then after watching the film the first season and coming back the second season, I was like, oh, you're doing the same stuff. With Luke Getsy, shoot, he didn't even make it a year. He was in 6 months into it. And I'm like, bro, this is trash. This is trash. You know what I'm saying? This is trash. You running the same stuff. There's no continuity. There's no concert of passing windows. Right. So we talked about this on Twitter, and we're going to talk about Justin Fields today. So y'all might as well, you know what I'm saying, tighten your panties up today, because we're going to get into it. Because the whole thing, the whole perspective, the whole issue was with Luke Getsy, there's the concert, and Jay was just talking about this. The passing windows have to be coordinated for you to anticipate throws, right? You watch CJ Stroud. And if you watch the clips of C.J. Stroud, the end zone view with CJ Stroud. You'll see windows open up. And it's not you're throwing to a person, you're just throwing to a window. That's offensive coordinating.
Yeah.
In its essence. It's your core.
Coaching don't matter. That's all talent from CJ Stroud. Don't
okay.
do that.
All right. So let me harness my excitement for a minute and go to take a step back. Obvious shout out to the Hall of Fame inductees, you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
Guys that will be cemented in Bearish folklore for what is the word? Folklore. I haven't having my coffee today. Folklore for seasons to come. Starting with Mongo McMichael, of course, you know what I'm saying? Me being a Gen X, I actually got a chance to see this guy play. And absolute dog.
Must be nice.
Absolute dog in that 85 Bears defense, holding it down on the inside. You just absolutely couldn't do anything with that. What are y'all statements about the Hall of Fame inductees? And we'll get into it a little bit.
Oh God. I'm happy for everyone that got in. It was good to see Devin Hester up there though. Finally, like I felt like he got screwed the past several times, but I'm happy he finally got in. Really good dude. That was my guy growing up because my sister liked Brian Urlacher, so she said I couldn't like him, so I had to pick someone else. So I picked Devin.
That's
Hester,
my
so
guy.
Nice. What?
I said she was probably like, that's my player.
Yeah, so I couldn't pick Brian Urlacher, so I picked Devin Hester, so that was cool. Happy to see everyone there though. Like they brought out the OGs for that though. Like Lovey was there, Johnny Knox was there. That was crazy to see. Peanut Tillman was there too. That was wild. Like they brought out the OGs for that. We got to
work on the former player wardrobe though, because I saw some of the pictures they were taking. I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Like, I know y'all.
They was chilling, dog. They was
okay. I know y'all getting a stipend, man. I gotta listen. You come outside, man. You gotta put it on. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are these dudes doing?
So I was happy for him. Julius Peppers, obviously, even though people argue his best years were in Carolina, but he was pretty good in Chicago too. In my opinion.
A bear. It's a bear.
Like, bro, I don't know, but I liked seeing him up there as well. You know, Mongo. That was I thought that was really sweet that they brought his bust to him and his jacket. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
So it was really good. It was really nice.
What about you, Jake?
First and foremost, I gotta say I was happy for Mongo because we didn't know if he was gonna make it to the point to where he was able to be alive to accept this, and it was a win for the guys. If you look at all his former teammates, you could just see how happy they were, and it felt like they could get some sleep knowing that at least he made it to this moment. It was great. Shout out to him. And then in regard.
Is that me? Yeah, we lost Jay for a second.
No, that's Jay.
Usually it's me. Usually it's me, but yeah, it was absolutely. I agree with Jay. What Jay was saying, like Mongo getting the opportunity to, have his bus and share it with his teammates, and then obviously he's beloved amongst the 85 team and so many Bears fans, generation wide. You know what I'm saying? That I think is a great thing. Great player, great timing. Glad we got a chance to get that accomplished in his lifetime, before, anything, escalated in terms of his health. Let me ask you this. To get into some football stuff too that was displayed or previewed at the Hall of Fame game. What do we think about this kickoff rule?
I hate it. I think it's stupid. I can already tell it's going to be a problem because of where the guys are lining up. They're having issues lining up and staying where they're supposed to stay at. I think that was most of the flags was just this guys were not lined up where they were supposed to be lined up. And I think that's going to be a problem all season for no matter who the team is.
Yeah, it was definitely it's definitely going to take some getting used to.
I think that's what it is I'm not used to it, so I think it's stupid. But I think once everyone gets used to it, it'll be no problem.
Once it gets normalized. And the only criticism I have of it is because when I was a special teams coordinator, I like that you can do you can weave players. Like I used to do this thing. I had a call when I was special teams coordinator where I would weave the front line, and instead of them blocking, running straight back and just blocking, I would have them do this kind of weave technique where they get a chance to get ear hole blocks and they don't have to hit a guy straight on. They get a chance to weave. Like you'll have one guy coming from one hash to the other, and the guy that he's finna block doesn't even see him coming, and that would open holes. So I like having that, element to it. I don't know. It doesn't allow you to necessarily scheme per se, because they only have the blockers only have like a 5 yard, something to make happen. So, you know what I'm saying? I see Joseph R saying he doesn't like it in the chat. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all feel about it. Let me know. Fire up the chat. Let me know how y'all feel about that.
They essentially got rid of the onside kick. Like you can't use that till the fourth quarter, I think they said.
Yeah.
Game. So I don't know.
Special teams gonna be a little bit weird this year, to say the least. How about you, Jay?
What
do
you
you think?
Penalties on that side of the ball.
You saw it the first game. Yeah, the guys are gonna have to get used to where they line up at, and where the little boxes, I guess, and things like that. So when they can start running towards the player, but yeah.
And
all right, let's get it.
What it does is creates a sense of urgency, because now I know for a fact I don't have the onside kick in my back pocket. I got to up the ante a little bit in situations to where I need 7 plus a possession. So
right. The other thing is, I just schematically right now, I could think the only thing you can really do schematically, and shout out to Coach Hightower. I'm like, you can't weave, and there's not enough room for you to run weaves with the front line. You could probably do some kind of cross block, where you do some kind of X block, or you can do a thing where they go block now instead of them dropping back or running back to the receiver or the returner. They can do a thing where they go block now, but schematically, like, how do you have fun with that as a coach would be my issue. I'd be like, man, this is boring. All I'm doing is telling them to run back. Now, I would try and get creative. Hey, we're going to X block. You two X block. You two X block. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever you try and do with it, do something. Because the whole idea, let's try to create holes, right? To have the return to run through. That, for me, is going to be interesting to see how coordinators, special teams coordinators respond to. Let's jump into something real fast, real different, real fast. Who are your standout players from the Hall of Fame game? Jay, I'm gonna start with you.
Austin Booker had a couple of plays where it opened your eyes a little bit. Like I said, Ja'Tari Carter had some plays that flashed. Usually in a situation like this in preseason, I don't really get into it because you don't see guys really getting blown up. You could just tell who's finishing a play, who's still in pursuit. So those two guys kind of stuck out for me personally.
Go ahead, AJ.
Obviously Colin Johnson's the big one. I thought he had a really nice game. I liked what Austin Booker did. I also liked Keith Randolph in his limited snaps. I'm in the trenches type of person. I'm a trenches person.
Here she go.
I pay attention.
In the trenches.
Really
in the trenches.
I do.
Just say you like the big boys, AJ.
I do. So I liked what Keith Randolph did. I thought he did pretty well. I also liked what I saw from Ja'Tari Carter and Doug Kramer.
Y'all let me know who y'all standout players are in the chat. I see y'all already put some in there, but follow up. If you just joined, do me a favor, run the likes up. Let me know who your
smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button. Let me know who your standout players were from the Hall of Fame game. Some games, maybe some names we didn't mention. Obviously, Ripien was the guy that stood out to me. He played well. I didn't think Tyson Bagent played bad either. I'm gonna follow this up with a question about that, because a lot of noise now because of how Ripien played. Do we have a QB2 battle? Legit battle. Go ahead, AJ.
It's Ripien for one.
Ripien.
He's the nephew to Mark Ripien. So
I don't know why I want to say Ripien.
Yeah,
Mark Ripien. Mark Ripien.
There's no controversy. Okay, like Bagent's been taking all the quarterback 2 reps. Like there's no competition whatsoever. Like we need to stop with that. Like, it's good to know that you have a quality QB3, but there's no competition. Nope.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I do think there's a competition there, and I think it was implemented perfectly, because you got to think Tyson Bagent was the holdout from last year. So now you put him in a situation and you get on TV and you see Ripien got the box score.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe that we know Caleb's starting, but you're not going to anoint the guy from the previous, situation into QB2, which is very important considering that's going to be the mentor to Caleb, the extra quarterback coach, the bridge of good information. And I don't think the organization want to trust Tyson Bagent with that because
But
it's a
they
whole
want to
new
trust the
system.
dude who's only started 4 games in 5 years.
It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, his previous
There's
starts
no
in his
battle
career don't matter because Caleb's gonna be getting majority of the snaps anyway. He
I
just
know
has to
that. I'm
make
just
sure
saying though, like
in a situation when it's time to hold the iPad instead of a clipboard these days, he understands what he's looking at. Like if you look at how Rippon performed, he ran the plays correctly. The ball was where it was supposed to be. The throwing lanes were opened up and where they
I mean,
needed
I'm
to
not
be.
denying that he didn't play well, but again, it was very vanilla. And B, I have yet to see him take a quarterback 2
You still
snaps.
got to execute at least. No matter
Like,
how vanilla it is, you
Let
still
me
have to execute as a
let
player.
me interject here. Let me
but
interject here and ask a question. Why do you think they bought Ripien in?
to be the QB3 like Nate Peterman was last year, he's the
But
guy to like give advice.
well, I'll ask the question better. What is Ripien's lineage? What is his? What is it? What is what? Where did he come from? What was the system
he
he
came
came
from
out of?
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay, which was he has
Shane
relationship
Waldron's-
with Shane
Yeah.
Waldron,
Yeah.
which is where I told y'all I'll never make this mistake again. Shout out to Squeegee. I'll never make this mistake again. Never forget the politics of football and the familiarity with it, right? So what I think I saw was Ripien. Why do I want to call it Ripien?
Think of Mark Rippon.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
his
want to
nephew.
think of Mark Rippon though. I don't.
But that's his nephew. I know
I
you
don't want
but
to
you
think
keep
of him
saying his
though.
name wrong.
It's the same
But-
thing with
but-
Travis Homer and Gerald Everett.
Like that's it. That's literally his nephew. So if you know how to pronounce Mark Rippon,
I do.
That's who that is. Brett
But I
Rippon.
did. I remember watching some games where Mark Rippon had good games where you like, who is this dude? That's why I don't want to think of him.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
back
But
to
yeah.
the political part of this, right? Or the semi-political part or familiarity part with it. These guys are bringing in guys who are familiar with the system. They might not be the top, in pole position right now. No pun intended.
I'm starting to hate that word so bad.
I know.
Travis Homer and Gerald Everett.
But
God.
those
Part of his previous
guys are
regime.
familiar with the system. And what you might have saw Thursday is the execution was better on Rippon's part because of his familiarity with the system. And if that's the case, I think we have an issue. I think we have a quarterback
No,
two
we
battle
don't.
because
do.
Why?
because he's Shane's guy.
Watch.
He's Shane's.
Watch. He's not gonna be QB2, and I'm gonna laugh when he's not. I'm gonna be sitting here like I told y'all he was.
Coach,
Hey.
you got to keep the receipts.
Absolutely going to keep the receipts. It's we're going to table it, but you know what I'm saying. Right now, me and Jay said we think it's a QB.
Yeah,
not.
because it's,
QB2 battle.
it's the same
It's not.
situation with Travis
not at
Homer
all.
and Gerald Everett.
It's
Like
not at all.
they was part of his
So
early.
you
stints
just think
too.
Gerald Everett's gonna unseat Cole Kmet? Yeah, you're out of your mind.
I'm not saying
You're out of your
unseat,
mind,
but
bro.
that's
No,
the reason he's
he
here.
is not
at least.
unseating Cole Kmet.
He's not-
because of Shane Waldron.
We might as well start Jake Kieran at right tackle because he knows the system.
I'm not talking
That's
about
wild.
unseating. I'm just talking
No.
about being familiar with the coaching play
I
style.
don't care if he's familiar. He's not the better player.
Nobody's saying about being better.
Okay. Let me interject. Let me interject though. I see what both of y'all are saying, but I'll say this. There is something to be said about familiarity with the system.
Yeah, we should just
Right.
start. We should just start Jake Kieran.
Nobody's
Put him
saying
up-
Gerald
put him
No,
at
no,
right
no,
tackle.
no. No, we're not saying that. We're
He has a
we're saying
connection with Shea Waldron. Just put him in there. Same
we're
with
we're
Coleman
saying
Shelton.
we're saying
God.
they'll have to so I'll tell you this. These are the facts. When it comes to Shane Waldron's system, if you're talking Everett and Cole Kmet, who's further ahead in terms of understanding what Shane's trying to accomplish?
Gerald Everett.
Right. So what happens is I'm telling you, I'm taking you inside the mind of a coordinator. What happens is if I gotta be able I said this just the other day on the practice field. I gotta be able to run the full buffet of my stuff. If I'm limited by anything that you need to catch up on, then if I have to decide, all right, on this particular concept, who I'm gonna have out there, I'm gonna have the guy out there that understands it.
We
I'm
should
not
just
saying
put Jake Curran out there then.
no. We don't. I mean, we don't have. Don't make it a slippery slope
I'm just
argument.
saying,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
that's what y'all are basically
No,
saying.
no. It's
Like,
what is what. Let
best
me pull
players are
up.
gonna play.
Let me pull up my philosophy 202 argument. Logical fallacies. You're doing one of those logical fallacies where you throw out the baby with the bathwater. You know what I'm talking about, Jay.
No,
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Hear
I'm
what we're
not. I'm
saying.
just saying,
I'm
like,
s- I'm saying we have to account. What I'm saying is with all of these players, we have to account for the fact that some of these players were brought in specifically to help either patch up a hole or speed up the
I'm
learning
not
development
denying that, but
process.
they're not going to be starters. That's my point. They're not
Oh
going to
yeah,
be
yeah,
out
yeah.
there
Well, here's the
playing.
thing.
Like,
Well, if we're talking about the tight end position, I expect both of them to be out there a lot together
well,
anyway.
duh, he loves running 2 tight ends.
Yeah, so it's not an either or, but I think when it comes to the route concepts that he loves, if I say, okay, who do I think is going to get the majority of route concepts right now, probably early on in the season, I'm going to say Everett.
That's
Over
wild.
who's
to give
going
it to someone who's 33 and injury prone. That's
but
wild.
who knows where to go
I don't
on
care if he
every
knows where to
play.
go.
Oh man, you're not trying to hear us right now. At least go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I can't even see him on my screen.
Oh my bad, I got him down. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead. Go
at
ahead.
least you capping. Whenever
I'm
Gerald
not
Everett
capping.
been on the field, he has always been tight end too. If you think about what they had in
And he
LA,
better stay
it
tight
was
end too.
Higby.
He better
And
not
at a
get
certain
more
point,
route runs than Cole Komet. Because if he does, I'm gonna
Elise,
be on Shane
Elise,
Waldron's head.
Elise, in 12 personnel, what Shane Waldron is trying to do is turn Cole Kmet into Tyler Higby. That means he'll be a weapon offensively.
And
Yeah.
he better be. That's the point.
And
But you
that's
can
the other
only
thing.
but you can only deploy that with 2 tight ends on the field.
Duh.
Right, and he's more of a wide tight
That's
end. He's
Gerald
more,
Everett's role.
yeah.
That's how
He's
he
more of a
fits Shane Waldron's
he's
puzzle.
more of a wide combo tight end. He's not a
Yes.
U tight end. Everett's gonna be a U pass catching tight end. That's a
It didn't
pass
work out in
catcher.
Seattle
He
because
better
Will
not have more
Dissly
touches
and
than
Noah
Komet.
Fant
That's all I
wasn't
know.
good.
That's
They
all I
weren't
know.
good.
Well, I think you probably need to prepare yourself for that
If
because
he has more touches than Cole Komet, we're gonna have to
I'm
problems. And I'm gonna be
Elise, I'm
calling
telling you
Ryan
this right
Poles.
Very
now.
possible.
I'm gonna
I'm
be
telling you
calling
this right
Ryan
now.
Poles
If
day
I'm
one.
if I'm designing the offense and I say, okay, we have the U, we got the Y, U, or H, however Shane uses his nomenclature for it.
Right.
We have the traditional combo tight end, and we have a pass catching tight end. If I'm designing the offense and I'm looking at my depth chart and they're telling me to identify who plays what style, Cole is my combo tight end. He
Yes.
blocks well, he pass protects well, but he still can get open and get receptions in the middle of the field, in the red zone, all that other stuff. But if I say primarily who's my primary pass catching tight end, come on now. In all honesty,
it's
you can't
not.
say
No. Nope. Nah. Nope.
She's capping.
No.
we gonna
If
move
it
on.
is, if it is,
How do we
we're
get
gonna
on? I want to get on a few of these comments related to this because the chat has a lot to say about this. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Squeegee said he knows the system can pair Caleb. That's the other factor about it, right? So also Rippin being behind Caleb knows the system can
He doesn't
tell.
need, but he doesn't
Hold on.
need to be the backup for that.
He doesn't need to be that, but hold on a second. Here's
That's
the other
why he'll
part.
be QB3.
Here's the other part. The other part that for Caleb, that Caleb is going to have to get an accelerated class on and have somebody that's available in his ear, readily available to tell
Both.
him
You realize with the new quarterback rule, both will be in his ear. You know that, right?
Hang on one second. I'm trying to make a point, but for him to be able to because here's the thing in the locker room, it's going to be a primary guy and it's going to be a guy that's just there. Everybody not talking to the QB. You got the QB coach, or you find yourself in a situation with Justin Fields where they're overcoaching me. You're gonna have the QB2 that gives you the primary, most of the information, what you're seeing on the clipboard. Hey, I'm seeing coverages, cover 2. I'm telling you, if I have to choose, right, and I'm running my offense, and somebody has seen my offensive pass concepts versus a bunch of coverages and can tell Caleb, hey, this is where you can expect this route to come open versus cover 2 zone, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. I want Rip in there. He's seen it before. He's seen the windows can clue Caleb in as to where to look in the coverages and
Backup
find.
QB ain't a talent
Did
thing.
y'all watch Rip It in Denver?
No.
In LA?
It's
In
listen.
Seattle. Like I swear y'all didn't watch.
It's not a talent
Listen,
thing.
it has nothing to do with talent. It has to do with
This man is
experience.
not good, bro. He's not.
But it has to do with experience in the offense and being able to communicate to Caleb what to expect.
The whole point of the backup, what I want a backup to do, God forbid Caleb gets hurt. I hope he doesn't. But if he gets hurt, I'd rather have Bajet out there because I trust him more to keep me in the game
So you
than I
want
would someone.
okay, Elise. So you want
I'm being so damn
you want
serious
your
right now.
backup quarterback to be useless while your number one is
I
healthy.
didn't say he has to be useless. I didn't say that.
Well,
if
he's not being able to be a coach and bridge to the QB1,
but I'm saying though, if something happened to Caleb, God forbid, I don't want Rip It out there. I don't. He's not better than Bajet. He's not.
Hey, I'm just telling you how offensive coordinators think. I want the guy that can run all my stuff.
Like,
I'm just telling you how it goes.
I want the guy that's
in
going
a
to be able
perfect
to
world,
keep
you wouldn't need to use your backup.
Because if you think about it, right, the NFL had a record 66 different quarterbacks played in an NFL game last season, and there's only 17 games in a season.
So let me ask you this: the first thing when, God forbid, Caleb Williams goes down.
Oh.
What is the first thing that happens when the offensive coordinator when the starter goes down?
They put the backup in.
All right, but what is going through his head?
Okay, what plays does my backup like and don't like?
What does he know first? What does he know? What is he familiar with? What is he comfortable with? And what am I comfortable with calling? If I have to limit my playbook because I'm not comfortable with this guy running my stuff, I'm going to go with the guy that I can get. Because here's it is. I said this about 1,000 times this week.
The game because of it, then I'm gonna be mad, bro. Like no.
But see, hold on, thing. This is the thing. Football is a strategic game played tactically, right? So if I get myself in a situation that I need to be able to do something, and I've shrank my playbook, right, and I can't get to something that I need to get to, then it's gonna hurt the team.
But
I need a guy that I know.
Assuming Bajet doesn't know the playbook though.
He doesn't know the system. He doesn't know the system as well as the other guy.
Yeah, but to say he doesn't know the playbook is.
I'm not saying he doesn't know it, but I can almost guarantee you, I would put some money on it that he does not know the route concepts and has seen the windows with these concepts versus all the coverage the way Rippin has. So hold on a second.
Who hasn't even seen him in a game?
Hold on a second. All the pass plays and the route concepts, the mixture of concepts versus the coverages, right? And all the windows and how they develop, right? If you haven't had experience in that system, how can you advise? How can you say, hey, on this Florida concept where we have a fly and an out, right? Versus cover 2 zone. Hey, Caleb, you can expect this spot. Throw it here first. Skip the go route. If you haven't done it, you haven't done it before. Versus those coverages.
QB3, that's my question.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, you're not gonna have all the guys in your Q's
I'm talking about during game day. I'm not talking about in the classroom.
Exactly. That especially on game day. Don't talk to my quarterback on game day. Dude, I'm talking to my quarterback. It's me and the Q coach, right? It's me and the Q coach, and maybe if I say so.
The point is, I'm not going to sacrifice someone who knows the system for worse in play. I'm not doing that.
I'm telling you, this is what happens
that's like starting.
This is what, but I'm telling you, this is what happens in the coaching profession. You don't, you take a guy that knows.
So had we kept Peterman, you would have started Peterman as the backup?
Peterman, why are we inserting Peterman in the conversation? Does Peterman know?
I'm just asking.
No, does he know Shane stuff? Is he a Shane guy?
He knows all kinds of systems. He's played.
Is he a Shane guy? Is he a Shane guy?
I don't care if he's a straight guy or
That's
not.
what
I'm
that you're
asking the question.
so you're missing the whole point of the argument. The whole point of the discussion is
Bro,
Rippin
I
would be the
don't
better
care.
fit because he
I
knows.
really but the point is, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's going to be.
All right, let's move on.
He's the better player.
Let's move on. You missing the point. He has. It's not. It's player. It's familiarity with the system, though.
I don't care about that.
Okay,
though.
so
That's
you
what
say
I'm
you don't
telling
care. All right, y'all. So we
It's
get the
going
point.
to be Bajan. It's real.
Okay.
I don't understand this whole. No, it's gonna.
All right.
No, there's no.
No, we're. I'm giving you. All right, so I'm giving y'all.
It's gonna be Tyson Bajan back there as the backup quarterback.
All right. Either way, but I'm just trying to give y'all a logical explanation as to why I would choose Rippin over Bajan. I got to be able to get to my stuff. I'm telling you,
There's a very real
I
quarterback
do this.
competition for QB.
I do this. I got to be able to get to my stuff. If I can't get to my stuff, if I can't call the full complement of my playbook, then
There's a reason Bajan started the Hall of Fame game and not Brett Rippin.
Okay. All right.
Just
all right.
Like,
all right.
Bajan will be the backup quarterback.
So outside of those guys, outside of the quarterback, you said Tyree Carter up front. I thought that first offensive line unit did pretty decent.
Yeah, I did.
By the way, the whole group, and
they was on time.
Yeah, and I think if there may be a little bit more competition with the O-line than people think there is, even though I know the O-line has been getting trashed by the fan base, as you know, because we don't have star names and all this other stuff. But again, when you understand football, you understand schematics, you understand X and O's, you gotta understand we're not asking you to be. Every player is not asked to be a world beater. Sean McVay said something that stuck with me as a coach. He said about 4 or 5 years ago on Hard Knocks. Only about 4 to 8 players on any given team are system agnostic players, meaning they, regardless of where you plug and play them in system, you can plug and play them and they can just go play. Only about 4 to 8 players on any given teams. The rest of those guys are specific system players that do specific things. And as long as we have the complement of offensive linemen, receivers, tight ends, running backs, and quarterbacks, right? Wide receivers are called wide receivers that can do the things that Shane wants them to do. So in case of, for example, Tyree Carter, right? If he knows how to block, he's a good zone blocker, right? If he's a good zone blocker, mid zone, inside zone, outside zone, and he's good at that, if Shane's not going to call power concepts, which I didn't see him call like in the first 15 plays in the Hall of Fame game, I know we got a long season to go, right? Does he have to be a good gap power blocker? No. He just needs to be good at zone blocking.
I like the reps he took at left tackle too, though. He took a little bit of reps at left tackle. Tyree Carter.
Yeah, I think they're pretty decent so far. What I want to see though is as we progress into the preseason is I want to see one, like Elise mentioned when we started the program, what we do at center, how the center is making calls. 2, how the center is communicating and working with Caleb to adjust pass protection calls. Because the center makes the initial call, but Caleb has to make the adjustment calls. And y'all heard Caleb in the press conference when Herb asked him the question, what do you think you need to work on? What are you struggling with? Blah, blah, blah. He mentioned blitz protections as part of it, which is okay right now for a rookie quarterback. Hadn't played it first NFL game. Last thing we need is another Justin Fields situation versus Buffalo where that linebacker comes off the edge. And because Justin wasn't there yet and hadn't learned how to, first of all, Buffalo's blitzing in the preseason like that was crazy. But second,
shout out to E-Dub, by the way.
That was wild. But I feel like they took that personal because wasn't that the Mitch game? Didn't Mitch play that game?
I don't even remember. I'm having trouble remembering what season was. But the point is
2021.
Caleb understand, and that's why I didn't think he played this game, because if he's not understanding blitz pickups yet and how to slide the line to the numbers yet and adjustments, which is to be expected right now. I'm telling y'all, it's not something wrong. You know what I'm saying? All the Caleb apologists is nothing. I'm not saying something's wrong with Caleb, but if he's not there yet, it's understandable, right? So many things, and somebody outlined this, and I was like, bro, y'all No, Dan Orlovsky did it on Tuesday or Wednesday, Monday or Tuesday, where Dan Orlovsky said, listen, he said it on Get Up. He's saying, listen, the same thing I told y'all a couple of shows ago about what Caleb hasn't done offensively yet, what he didn't do at USC. Dan quoted it almost word for word. He said, hey, this is what he did in terms of a play call. Ready? Go. Versus now he has to recite the call. He has to get to the line. He has to call out his cadence, and not just call out his cadence. Midway, okay, quiz question. Coaching football, quiz question for you, right? Why don't they just go up and for his cadence and say, "Set, go"? Why is it all the red 82, green this, green that, blah, 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 the preference to the actual cadence call? Why don't they just go up there and, like, Pee-wee football or some middle school? They don't even do it middle school.
You got to go up and identify what you're going up against.
Absolutely. But also,
you got to stalk your prey, and that takes time.
I like the analogy. Absolutely. You got to go up there. You have to be able to identify what's going on. So also it gives you time. It gives you time to expose the defense. But also, if I go set first, the next sound, the offensive lineman, if it's on one, they're expecting to move. So if I have to check to something, if I have to check to something, I can't go set. Hold on a second, guys. We need to adjust the protection. The next thing they hear come out of my mouth, they're going to be moving, right? So if I go up and I go red, green, easy, right? Now they know, I'm finna get ready to change the play. Now I get into my cadence, right? That's just for, people that might not have known that.
We called ours mustard. So, like, when I played flag for my high school team, we just called it mustard.
Yeah, I go cadence, and the quarter Q goes easy, right? So if he's changing something, he'll go easy. That lets him know, relax, I'm finna get ready to change something. And then the next sound you hear is I'm getting to my cadence. So he might go all the way through his cadence, red 86, set, hut. Or he might go red 86, easy. I'm finna check to something. By the way, those checks are in the play calls. Also, alerts in the play call. Something he didn't do in college. He didn't do alert to 976, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do, here's your play call, check to. So I'm giving you the real play call, and I'm giving you the check play call. Hey, I'm giving you H right gun, Y off, 4 over, Z flee, 976 sail in, right? On first, on 1 or on 2. Boom. Check two, deuce 44, duo 44, right? He didn't do all that. So this is all things he's becoming familiar with now in the NFL offense that's going to take him time. But I like that Caleb was honest with her. He probably was too honest for the Chicago Bears organization.
Yeah, that was
that.
I was like, ooh.
He was probably a little bit
the truth.
Yeah, I mean, but how often do they do that?
They not allowed to at Hallis Hall.
Hey, say that what you just said, Elise. What was they doing when he was saying?
Taking notes now. These other teams
Caleb
like, okay.
Written up.
Yeah, I'm probably the Bears PR person probably met Caleb at the bottom of those stairs and was like, "Hey, come here, let me talk to you for a second.
Come here, Slick."
We not saying that. This is how we're gonna answer that question in the future.
Right.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
Because he did kind of give up too much information.
I just want to touch on that aspect of Caleb personality. Like, we had the Amani Toomer thing talking about how he shouldn't be speaking up in the locker room. I'm like, well, he's the most important player in the franchise. He is the dynasty, and at a certain point, when does leadership start? It starts day one. And even little modest things like that, I love to see him speak up about that type of stuff. So
that
I think he's growing into the role.
Clown. I don't even care. I gave that dude no attention.
You know what? Here's the thing. I think I'm probably different than a lot of people. So I've conditioned myself that when Bears Twitter is going overreaction to something, to look at it from the opposite perspective, right? Not necessarily looking to agree with Amani, but here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. First of all, leadership is by example. You can talk all you want to, but you got to be doing it. And the best way to get somebody to follow you is to demonstrate it, right?
That's what my dad said. My
So
dad
if
said that exact same thing.
so
He
get
said
in there and
he
start
want to
picking up.
impress them. He should be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I
just no.
said,
What? Just get first of all, do it. Just do it.
but
Emulate
that's what
what
he
you.
said. Those were his exact words. Just
I
do it.
actually have the quote up, right? It
That is
was
wild.
credit. It was credit to the guy that authored Chronicles of Narnia, right? But it stuck with me for a long time. But it's not really his quote, but I'm gonna credit him for it this time. And he has a great quote, and it says, lead at all times, and when necessary, use words. His actual quote is preach at all times, and when necessary, use words. So it's one of those that stuck with me as a leader, right? I always ask myself this as a question, right? If my offensive staff, even my offensive staff, right? We had to have a meeting the other day about yelling, right? I'm a teacher first, and I have a rule. You teach first, and then you yell at kids. You don't yell at kids before you teach them, right? If you haven't taught them the proper technique, steps, hand placement, all this other stuff, don't yell at kids. I hate that, right? And so I had to catch myself because I'm like, man, I'm new and I want these kids to be here because we got to play in a week. And I don't even know if they've been taught these techniques. So I start yelling, had to pull myself back and be like, but you have to demonstrate the behavior to me before you go speaking about it, yelling, oh, I'm going to get on you, right? Have they seen you picking up? Have they seen you taking care of the staff, the cafeteria staff, the maintenance staff, the equipment guy? When they see you do it, they're going to do it naturally, right? And then if you've planted that seed in their mind of them seeing you do it, then it becomes easier for them to accept when you say, hey, guys, listen, I spent 2 hours after practice, after everybody was gone, helping the maintenance staff pick up y'all's trash, your tape, your water bottles. And I'm telling you, though, it don't care what level it is. Football in the locker room is the nastiest. It's one of the nastiest places. You can catch something real fast. But if you do it, then talk about it. That's just my take on it. But
it kind of reminded me of the situation last year. Like Anthony Richardson got caught like helping wash the dishes after, I think it was like one of those camp practices or something, right? Like he didn't even ask his teammates to help him or nothing. He just did it because that's who he is as a person, and it garnered a bunch of attention. And he wasn't even trying to garner attention. He was just doing what he always does. I think it's something like that where sometimes, like you said, you just have to. Hey, if you just do it, it's not. Sometimes it's not going to go unnoticed. People will follow behind you if you do it.
So we mentioned this real fast. I want to segue because we mentioned this already. I already had it in my bookmarks to talk about the Caleb answer for the Herb Howard question. We already said that the Bears PR person probably pulled him aside. I was like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're not giving away intel to the ops, right? So I thought it was a great answer. It was an honest answer. It was a good football answer to the question that was asked. It's kind of like a catch-22. While he answered the question,
he gave
honestly,
too much,
he gave too much, and I think, but for what he gave, let's talk about the actual what he gave and how we feel about what he gave. He called out the biggest thing for me, obviously, because I feel like it's not. I feel like it is. Everything starts with the O-line. So the biggest thing for me was the blitz pickups and where he was with that, right? So I'll speak about that first and let y'all chime in. Absolutely, I'm glad he said it. First of all, I'm glad he said it. That lets me know he's aware of it, he's cognizant of it, and they're going to work on it. So we didn't hear this with Justin Fields or any other previous quarterbacks. Like we had no idea where he was in his development process. Right. We know where Caleb is now. So we know what to look out for in the coming weeks. How do y'all feel about that's where he is right now, the state? Do you think he should be further? He's right where he is, or he's ahead?
No,
y'all let me know in the chat too.
I think he's growing at the rate he's supposed to. When you go back, we could go back as soon as last year, Justin, against Minnesota at Soldier Field. The first play Brian Flores sent was a blitz off the left side, unpicked up. and Justin took the sack. In a situation like that, at least Caleb is, like you said, Coach T, aware of a situation, because defensive coordinators are going to try to speed his clock up. That's the
Yeah.
easiest way to fluster a quarterback, sending corner blitzes, off that other side. At the end of the day, you got to be aware that somebody's going to throw that at you. And I feel like even though Caleb hasn't really perfected that area of the game, at least he's working on it. And him opening his mouth, I think he's being honest. Just like the locker room thing, I think he is one of the guys that, pick up after himself, at least at the bare minimum. So if he is having trouble with blitz pickup, I feel like it's warranted, because it was something that was missing last year, and he's the new guy on the block too. And that's why at a certain point, you got to give credit to Ryan Poles for bringing in a guy like Travis Homer, because you don't have to look at him on the depth chart right now. But he's a guy that's not going to be out of position. He's going to run the play that's called to him. Blitz pickup is on the running back too. How is Caleb going to put him in position to be able to protect himself in a situation to where you got to dial it up downfield? So I'm glad he's doing his homework and studying.
Go ahead, Elise.
I was gonna say, when I saw him, he looks like I expected him to.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I need to see this stuff in the game. Like,
Yeah.
like he looked like a rookie quarterback to me. Like, he had some really good moments, right? Really, really good moments. But then, there were some rookie mistakes where I'm like, ooh, probably shouldn't have done that. But, he would go back and not make the same mistake twice. So
that's all you can ask.
Yeah.
That's all I can ask for. He looked about how I expected him to look.
That's why I said he's doing his homework.
And that's not a knock on him or nothing. I don't hate the kid. He looks great. He looks fine. He looks good. But at the same time, you could tell he's a rookie quarterback. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. It made me happy that it didn't make me happy that he verbalized it to everybody, but it made me happy that he's cognizant of where he is.
Right.
For the fans that don't get into the schematics, right? And don't see, here's the cool part, right? What you miss, what I missed about coaching is not game day. What I missed about coaching, what I'm excited to be back involved with now, is the process. The process is the fun part. Hey, coaches, what are we calling this? How are we doing this? How are we handling blitz pickups, which by the way, we haven't gotten into yet. How are we handling blitz pickup? I think that's next week. How are we handling blitz? And that's just to show you early on in the season, there is so much other stuff to do, that blitz pickups is not the most important thing. It's important to the results of a play, but just to show fans, it's not the most important thing. It's not the priority thing in install, right? You have to, hey, how are we lining up in the huddle? How are we breaking the huddle? What's our cadences? Now that we get the cadences, what is our run concepts and run philosophy? Okay, what is our pass philosophy? What are we calling a out route? Are we doing the numbers? Are we going by numbers, or are we going concepts? Concepts is the routes have, say, instead of me saying 957 for numbers, some offensive coordinators do numbers. Some of them do concepts. Some of them would go Florida. Florida means a fly and an out together, right? So what are we choosing to do? What are we choosing to do with our offense? How are we going to do it? You got to decide all that stuff, the communication, the language, and then you get to run the fundamental, the foundational stuff, and then you get into blitz pickups and all that other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Then you get into some of those more complex things. But what I'm saying for the fans is he's exactly where he's supposed to be. He's not ahead. He's not behind. He's right on pace for him to be able to. So for him to say that, also for him also to say, the other thing he said that stuck out to me was the rotations of the safeties, right? He didn't say it this way, but I know what he's talking about. How the safeties are spinning, right? So if you have two high safety, what's the indicator? Because anybody can come up to the line of scrimmage and pre-snap read a coverage, but what happens to how do you respond to spinning safeties? One of those safeties is going to spin down in a box, and what are the indicators of what those safeties, which safety is going to spin down into the box? Usually it's going to be their alignment, right? So in their relationship with the hash mark, that's going to give it away. He's still learning that. and then learning the combination of the two. So it's blitz pickups, spinning safeties, and then how those work together is when y'all talk about reading coverages as fans, that's what you're talking about. Because I'm telling you, any high school kid can walk up to the middle school kid that has a good coach can walk up to the line of scrimmage and say, "Oh, I had my kid do it yesterday, the other day, 8th grader. Hey, man, okay, I'm quizzing them. Hey, you got single high safety, press, your corners look like they're in press coverage, right? What are they in? What possible coverages could they be in? I'm quizzing them. Oh, coach, man, in cover 3. Boom. What are the cover 3 responsibilities? He's like, oh, corners got outer thirds, middle safety got middle third. All right, boom. So those guys can do it. They can do it in middle school. The question is, post snap, when they safety starts spinning from single high safety to 2 high safety or 2 high safety to single high safety, now you tell me what coverage they're in. Tell me what coverage is in there as they're moving, not while they're still. That's the hard part. So he's not there yet, and he's telling y'all he's not there. So, and I say that to help fans manage expectation, because guess what? If he throws a pick or something early on, right? If he misses a blitz pickup early on, so y'all don't trash him, right? Y'all don't throw the kid out. Y'all don't be like, oh, he can't play quarterback. Oh, he not. So y'all don't say when he's missing the blitz pickup. This is what fans will say. He missed the blitz pickup. Instead of y'all understanding him missing the blitz pickup because he's new at it, y'all say he's not getting the ball out fast enough, right? Or he misses spinning safeties and throws interceptions. Y'all be like, oh, he can't read coverages. I know how fans respond to not knowing football. For watching the fans for 2 years and how they're misdiagnosing what's happening on the field. So this is just to help fans manage expectation. That was a long explanation. Go ahead.
I just want to say, look at the position Sam Darnold was in with the Jets a couple of years ago. He was seeing ghosts because he couldn't read which direction the safeties was going. Right. There was nobody in his regime that could be a bridge to his offensive coordinator, say, come up to the line. This is what's going to happen, X, Y, Z, because we're in this formation. I beat it like a dead horse. Coach T, you tried to tell Elise about it. Having somebody from the previous regime to be an informant and make sure that everybody's on time, especially when you got a rookie quarterback situation, it's imperative, and it's so important.
That's a very good point. Listen, we're going to end on this last topic of discussion. Caleb's going to be fine. Yeah. And I'm going to tell y'all why Caleb's going to be fine, in my opinion. I feel confident I'm going to get into this Tuesday when I'm doing the film breakdown of Shane. I'm going to start with Shane, then I'll start getting into individual film breakdown. I'll probably go Shane and do kind of like a ripping breakdown on Thursday. I think that's what I'll choose to do as far as film breakdown. Before we get into this last topic, just I'm going to ask Hunter Williams question. He said, Coach, love seeing how explosive Roshan looked. Do you think we see more 22 personnel next week? I hope the hell so, Hunter. I hope the hell so. 2 tight ends, two backs, a fullback and a running back, 2 tight ends. And that's, again, the why I'm saying that is because I think it's going to help Caleb in the long run, right? We're going to run inside, mid, inside, outside zone. Out of these 22 personnel, we go play action off of it. We can run duo out of it. We can run power concepts out of it and go play action concepts off of it and make those middle field that Jay called out earlier easier for Caleb. And and by the way, that's an answer to all those spinning safeties, right? Because now when we go 22 personnel with a fullback in the game, you know what I'm saying? Defensive coordinators can play less games. You know what I'm saying? You can't play with 22 personnel, right? You can't play with that. You can't be back there being cute in the defensive backfields and trying to spin safeties, because guess what? If the safety come down and he's wrong, then the running back going to hit his head on the goalpost. So Shane having the mentality to attack on offense is going to be the difference in the world. But let me get to this, because Caleb's going to be fine. But just to let y'all know, we don't shy away from the conversation. It's happening. I tried to ignore it, but it's stirring up. The hornet's nest is stirring up. And I want to about Justin being the QB1 in Pittsburgh.
He's
Oh,
not.
here we go,
Look,
man.
I'm gonna say this as honest as people want, right? He's not starting. It'll be Russell Wilson. Like, people need to get off their high horse. I get Pittsburgh fans are excited because they had Big Ben and they've been stuck in purgatory for the past 3 years or whatever. With Kenny Pickett. So any form of
Mason
flashes,
Rudolph before
they'll
that.
drool at the mouth about. Okay, like let's be honest about that. But no, it'll be Russell Wilson.
What
Like,
do you think, Jay?
I,
go ahead, Jay.
I
and
mean,
then I'll
it's
continue.
another civil war brewing, and it's over Justin Fields practice highlights for another team, coach.
Literally.
What
That's
type
funny.
of mental illness is this?
Hey, it's insanity.
Bro,
It's fun.
the crazy
It's
thing
fun to
is-
me though. I
The
don't
crazy
care.
thing is, I see it as you should want him to do well because we get a 4th-round pick if he does.
That should be the very
literally
first thing you think
that's
about.
what your mindset should be. Your mindset should be, well, if he plays and does well, we get a 4th-round pick. Really,
They don't care about that.
What?
I said the trolls don't care about that.
No.
I'm not even. I'm being so serious. I'm being the most generic thing. Like, as a Bears fan, you should want Justin to play because if he does, we get a 4th-round pick if he plays 51% of the snaps. Like, I'm being so serious.
What type of?
That should be the knowledge
I took it
you
down.
have going into that situation, right? That's literally it.
Focus. But listen, this is the other part I won't do. I won't tell fans how to fan. It's all entertaining to me. It's funny to watch. I think
it's like the NFL in general. So I'm gonna talk about
Right.
any team that I want to,
But
I don't care.
but I told y'all earlier in the summer, towards the end of last season, I think it would make the best 30 for 30 that we've ever seen before. To follow the Caleb storyline, to follow the Justin storyline, to follow
But there's nothing
Ryan.
to follow.
Yeah, yes it
It's
is.
gonna be the high
Because
Russell.
yes it is, because we had a whole uncivil war about this quarterback position to document the whole toxicity of it all in film format, the way that ESPN does in the 30 for 30. Follow Justin Fields, get the back end scoop from their perspective and his camp. Get
Bro,
the back
he's
end scoop.
fine.
Hold on. Get the back end scoop from Caleb's perspective. Get the inside information from Ryan Poles. Follow Eberflus. Follow Getsy, and put
It's
that
gonna
all
be like
into.
Alice Hall version of The Wire.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
like,
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying,
No.
Jay. Like, the storylines is
Listen.
crazy. I think it's funny to watch.
There's really nothing
Here-
crazy.
Here's the reality of it. This is what Bears fans should prepare themselves for. Either way, win, lose, or draw. If both Justin and Caleb do well this season, we better prepare ourselves for it. If
Why?
Caleb, hold on, because it's gonna be. Come on, Elise, don't act like it's not gonna be talked about.
But who cares? That's
Everybody
what-
cares.
And that's what
Every-
Jay was
I can't
talking
believe
about.
I'm hearing
That's
this
what Jay
blasphemy,
was talking
at
about.
least.
Like, why?
Everybody,
Why are people putting energy into something?
that's like saying, why do we care about the election? We don't care about either candidate,
I don't
but
care about the election.
we don't care, but we care. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. I really
Here's the thing.
don't care about
The question. Answer the question is though: will it be talked about if both quarterbacks are successful?
Absolutely.
Will they be compared?
Why would
Yes.
they be compared?
So why do we act like it's not a thing and we're fake like we're not going to talk about it? I'm not going to do that on this show.
I'm
We're
not
going to
saying
talk
we
about it
shouldn't talk
because
about it.
people are going to talk about it.
I'm just saying. At the end of the day, here's how I look at it. Right. In my opinion, you don't have to agree with this opinion or not. You have your opinions. At the end of the day, that's what football is about. People have their own opinions. In my opinion, the kid was dealt a dirty hand. He moves on. He gets a fresh start in Pittsburgh. We all move on.
It's not that
Hopefully, he
simple.
plays enough snaps and we get a 4th-round pick. That's really how I feel about it. All right?
Go ahead, Jay.
We move on to
It's
Caleb
not that
Williams.
simple.
Let's go.
Like
Dang.
we,
Like,
we could bring it up in a situation to where Justin Fields is in a better structural position right
Exactly.
now with the Steelers than
Good
he
for
was
him.
with the Bears.
No, what I'm
Right.
saying it's a very listen. Here's the other part.
that can
It,
put him
it,
in a
it,
very
it
different position
will
than
the
he was
national
with the Bears.
will the national media ignore it? No. Will the
No.
local media? Nobody's going to
Social
ignore it. They're going
media,
to talk
no.
about it. It's content. It's business. They're going to talk about it. So
He's not even
success.
gonna be playing though.
Hold
That's
on,
why
hold
I'm
on,
like,
hold
why
Look
are
at
on,
the
we
hold
fanfare
on.
of his practice
why are we
tape.
losing
That's what I'm
sleep?
saying. So watch this though. Success. Either quarterback, both quarterbacks are successful. They're going to talk about it.
But he's
One
not gonna
quarter.
be playing though.
What?
So what
I'll get to
success are
that
we
in a
talking
minute.
about?
I'll get to that in a minute. One quarterback is successful and one is not. They're going to talk about it. One quarterback goes to the playoffs and one doesn't. They're going to talk about it. It's going
No,
to
they're
be a topic.
not.
On either side of the fence.
You are delusional if you don't think this is not going to be talked about on social media, national media.
Bro,
They're
it's
not
not
going to.
there.
If
What is
if
there to
if
talk about?
They're
Everyone
talking about
expects.
practice
Hold
right
on,
now,
hold on,
Elise.
hold on. Everyone expects Justin to be the backup to Russell Wilson. That's what he's gonna be. Like, there's
no, I
nothing to
just
talk about in
I
that.
just saw something this morning or last night that they're already finna get. They're talking about penciling him in as
They're
QB1.
not. I'm
It's
telling you, they're not. They're not.
okay.
It's
So
Russell
so
Wilson's job.
this goes back to the discussion we had earlier, Elise. Understanding what actually happens on a football field and in practice. The dude doesn't have. He hasn't. Russell hasn't gotten any reps with the ones.
Because he's hurt. Duh.
So you can't make that so kids. So he gets healthy. He gets healthy at the beginning of the season. You think Mike Tomlin,
Yes.
one of the greatest, longest tenured coaches
Yes.
of all times, with no reps, is going to throw Russell out
We
there
just
before
talked about
Justin?
this.
Yes. He talked about it yesterday. People don't listen.
So
Russell Wilson will
so
start
hold
the
on,
season
hold on.
unless he's injured.
So without any reps with the ones, and Justin having shown that he can perform with the ones, without any reps with the ones, I'm saying if we get
He's
hold
gonna
on a
get
second,
reps
hold on a
with the
second.
ones, you know that, right?
Okay,
He's
no,
expected
hold on
to
a
be
second though.
back Tuesday.
Hold on. Let me just paint the scenario though. If we get to a point, we got only 3 more weeks in preseason. If we get to the point where he hasn't had any reps with the ones, or his reps with the ones look less than the standard, Mike Tomlin standard, you think he's gonna roll Russell out there instead
If
of
he
Justin?
has
We
any
just
sort of reps with the
talked
one,
about this.
hold on, Jay.
Go-
If he has any sort of reps with the ones, he's starting week 1.
Okay,
Guarantee you that.
okay, I can take that. Go ahead, Jay.
The only way he's not starting is if he's hurt. If he still has a bad whatever it is, calf or hammy or whatever they said it was, calf I think it was. If he still has a bad calf and hasn't practiced at all with the ones, then he's not going to play week 1.
What
But
did we
he'll
just?
still play when he gets back. But at
What
the
do
end
we?
of the day, he gets any sort of semblance of reps with the ones, he's starting week 1.
What
I
do
don't
we
I
talk?
don't know how many more times people have to say that.
Well, I get that. Now that part is a little bit different than he's starting regardless. That's different than what you said earlier. But if I
The
can,
point is because I don't he'll be back next week. They're literally talking about it. He'll be back next week. Like he's starting week 1 unless he somehow gets hurt again.
that's
Like this is
let's table
not
it.
a
Let's table.
conversation.
I want to hear what Jay has to say, and we gonna table it. We gonna keep track. We gonna keep track of this one and the QB2 battle. Go ahead.
We just talked about familiarity going into the season. A coach is going to go for the guy that he understands and can trust, reiterating his language.
So you trust Justin Fields over Russell Wilson right now?
He's been running the plays. I'm not.
No,
Look,
I'm talking
Elise,
about in a
Elise,
game.
why you
Literally
interrupting
right
me?
now, you would trust
Let him
Justin
let him
Fields over Russell
finish. Let him
Wilson in a
finish.
game?
Why are you
Let
not
him
letting
fin-
me finish, Elise?
I just asked it, bro. That's why. Okay. I said, all right. Wow.
We just talked about a coach trusting a guy who can be familiar with the system and run his plays. Like Mike Tomlin is running Justin Fields with the ones for a reason. He's not going to come to the podium and say, "Hey, everybody, game plan and get ready for Justin Fields week 1." He's coming right at you. He doesn't have to do that, especially knowing that Russell Wilson is on the depth chart. Like it's gamesmanship, Elise.
Bro. Barring injury, Russ will be the starter week 1.
What's the odds?
It's not.
I'm not even finna.
It's not. It's not a.
No.
It's not even a thing. Like, I guess because I'm telling you what I know, it's really gonna be Russ unless he just
Elise
can't go.
Schefter at it again.
Hey, man.
Elise Schefter. Oh, that's
Schefter.
crazy.
I'm just saying, like it's
Lit-
not because real talk, and they'll never admit this out loud. but a lot of people already have said this, and this has basically been confirmed. They promised Russ the starting job. He wasn't gonna sign unless he got promised a starting job. Like like literally, he'll have to be hurt for Justin Fields to be the starter in Pittsburgh. That man will have to have like literally a bad calf. Like if his calf is still bad and he hasn't had any rest with the one to like the third week of the preseason, then that conversation. Will happen.
I think you make a good point about the reps. If he gets reasonable reps, but he gets good reps, he can't go out there and look worse than Justin did in practice because Mike is not that type of coach. Mike is not going to compromise the integrity of his locker room in knowing that as a coach, these players saw that Justin looked this way and Russell looked this way.
But
and
even in
coach, hold on a second. Let me finish.
Okay.
But coach chose, regardless of what the circumstances is, who looked the best the last time we saw him. So if Russell gets the reps and he doesn't look like he can operate the offense the same way, I don't believe Mike Tomlin compromised the integrity of his locker room by saying, hey, for political purpose, for contract purpose, we're just going to roll Russell out there and see what happens.
The financial aspect of
I
Russell
was
Wilson
gonna
ain't
say,
Mike Tomlin's job.
in limited action that Russ has been doing.
But even the financial part of it, Jay, because they both in the same situation. They're both on 1-year contracts, from what I understand. So it doesn't. There's
Right,
no
that's
long
what I'm
term.
saying. It's like you could throw the money out
it's
the window. It's
yeah.
all about football now.
It's
Yeah,
not- it's not
you
even
really
about
can
that.
throw the politics out the window on this one because in the rare situation in NFL, we truly have a true quarterback competition.
You didn't listen, did you? You didn't listen to anything I said. They promised that man the job. He's going to get the job unless he's hurt. Like I hate to burst people's bubble, but that's really how it's going to be.
Y'all let us know.
If you see Justin Fields, right? If you see Justin Fields, right, it's going to be like they're going to bring him in for like an RPO or something. But it's not going to be like it's not going to be a whole game, bro. Right
I
now,
know. I know. Listen, if y'all watching this back on the playback, I know the majority of y'all don't care. We've already said that Caleb Williams is going to be fine. He's exactly where he's supposed to be. He's developing. Hopefully, we'll see him in at least a drive or two versus Buffalo.
He's playing Saturday.
Hopefully, we have a gentleman, and this is my only request. Hopefully, we either get a lead on the blitz pickups this coming weeks, and he gets more comfortable with that, or we have a gentleman's agreements between the coaches that we're not blitzing in this game, and we get a chance to see Caleb. Either way, you guys know what to look for. I'm finna get ready to get out of here. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. I'll figure out what time.
This is wild.
What time Elise is still tripping off of the Justin Fields.
Because he's not gonna be the starter. I'm telling you.
We'll get a chance to talk about it. Listen, that's why I'm saying. Listen, this is why I say.
She don't care.
Yeah. But listen, this is why I say though, Jay. This is why I say we have to talk about it because regardless, it's good content anyway. It's good content.
A man.
Listen. Well, guess what? I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, right? For Chicago Bears 360, we gonna talk about this storyline because it's content.
It's content. About a man sitting on the bench. This is wild behavior.
Okay, if he's on the bench, if he's on the bench, to your point, at least there will be nothing to talk about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
so for you want him to be on the bench, so we don't have nothing to talk about. I want this content.
It's not even that. Right? It's not even that, right? Like, usually when Bears fans bring this man's name up, it's always got some negative connotation, like this man slept with their moms or something. Like, dude, let it go. This man
but this is. I think it's. Listen, I think it's.
If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it.
But I think for our standpoint, I think it's a good conversation to have because one, there is a storyline whereby if he's successful, it benefits the Bears. So yes, I want him on the field. I want the 4th round pick. I think we could have got a 3rd from him, but they didn't put that out. Matter of fact, I know somebody that you know, Elise, that said we could have got a 3rd.
I know that.
But that's what I'm saying. Me and you both got inside intel. We got to talk about it.
Coach T, that's what I'm saying. You took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say that. But that's why I'm telling you it's going to be Russ week 1, unless he's hurt. Like, they have a plan for Justin, but it's not this year.
We going to get that for.
Best I can say.
We getting that for.
But
All right, y'all.
I
Listen, we got to get out of here.
I do want us to get the 4th if possible, but
We got to
I
get.
wouldn't count on it. That's all.
We got to get out of here. I think it's a great show, great debate. We're gonna table the discussion about what happens with, you know what I'm saying, the quarterback that we won't mention. I think we're on the right. I'm thinking we're on the right path with the quarterback that's under center for the Chicago Bears right now. I want to see him versus the Bills. I think the offensive line is looking pretty good. I'm totally excited about our offensive coordinator. That's probably the most thing that I'm most excited about this season for myself, for Jay Tarbarian now. I got to get used to that. AJ. The drink, the stirrer of the drink. but that's what we got you for. At least I'm Coach T, Chicago Bears 360. Y'all know the saying, past, present, or future. Go spend some time with y'all family today. Bear down. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.